students, tomorrow we have midterm biology midterm examination. For first 10 chapters are there. Suppose if you are not prepared, not at all. So still you have the time to prepare for midterm examination. At least you can easily score 50 marks. For first chapter, living world, at least you have to prepare biological binomial nomenclature rules for 5 marks question, and short notes, particularly a zoological park, botanical gardens, key. These all will ask for the 3 marks questions, like write a short notes on the biological zoological park or botanical garden, like that question is arises. So you have to prepare these things in first chapter. Then remaining maybe ask for the 1 mark questions like what is biodiversity and nomenclature, particularly for human beings, like that question arises. In second chapter, biological classification, here almost all they ask about the general characters of the fungi, 5 marks question, and remaining things like Monera, these will ask for the 1 mark, 2 marks questions, and after we come to that, the important diagram, tobacco mosaic virus as well as the bacteriophage, these will ask for the 2 mark or 3 marks questions, and remaining 1 mark questions, viroids as well as the algae, lichens, these ask for the 1 mark questions, and remaining things almost all you know very well about that. In second chapter, main important thing is fungi characteristics, and after that chrysophytes, so dinoflagellates, so these will ask for the short notes or 1 mark questions like diatomaceous, earth and their uses, so questions arises. In third chapter, the plant kingdom, in that general characters of the gymnosperms, general characters of the pteridophytes, these ask for the 5 marks question, and in algae, kingdom algae, in that they will ask about the Chlorophyceae, Theophyceae, Rhodophyceae, stored food materials, or maybe they ask about the difference between the Chlorophyceae, Theophyceae, so that question arises. And last we come to that, the haplontic life cycle, diplontic, haplodiplontic life cycles. So here maybe anyone ask for the 5 marks questions or 3 marks. If they ask, mention the or write the or draw the diagram of haplontic life cycle or describe. If describe question arises, we have to write that cycle and explain that. That may be asked for the 5 marks question. We have to practice that. Then after we come to that, the gymnosperms, angiosperms, some tallest and microscopic organisms are there. So we have to concentrate on that for 1 mark questions. Then in animal kingdom, starting they given the some basic characters for the classification, like diploblastic, triploblastic, coelomate, pseudocoelomate. These all ask for the 1 mark questions. You can easily find out the definitions as well as the particular examples are there. For example, pseudocoelomates, platyhelminthes, and coelomates. So some questions arises on the basis of this. You can concentrate on that. Then after we come to the phylum Porifera for 5 marks, general characters, and Annelida, Arthropoda. These usually ask for the 5 marks questions. And after the difference between the chondrichthysis and osteichthysis, and difference between the chordates and non-chordates. So these all ask for the 5 marks questions, so or 3 marks questions. Then remaining almost all 1 mark, 2 marks questions. So write the important character of the Coelenterata or Cnidaria. In Coelenterata, under polyp medusa life cycles are there. So on the basis of these questions arises. Then in 5th chapter, morphology of flowering plants, very important chapters. Here most of the definitions arises, and as well as the 5 marks questions like estivation. What is estivation? Types of estivation, placenta and placentation types. Then last they given 3 families. Any one families, floral diagrams or general characters maybe they ask. Then in 6th chapter, anatomy of the flowering plants. Here maybe diagrams are very important, particularly monocot, dicot, root, stem, leaves, or secondary growth. Along with that, some definitions are there like cambium, open vascular system, closed vascular systems. So they ask the definitions as well as the examples. You have to concentrate on this. Then in 7th chapter, structural organization in animals, starting they given the tissues, 4 types of tissues, particularly here 1 mark 2 marks questions arises, and as well as the difference between the striated muscles, non-striated muscles, or cardiac muscles, or they may be asked about the short notes. Write a short notes on the cardiac muscles, and they may be asked about the diagrams. You have to concentrate on that. And remaining in earthworm, cockroach, and frog, at least you have to thoroughly prepare the digestive system of earthworm, digestive system of cockroach, and digestive system of frog. We have to concentrate on these diagrams that may be asked for the 5 marks questions. If possible, we have to concentrate on their reproductive diagram also. Cockroach reproductive system and earthworm reproductive system and frog reproductive system diagrams are there. If possible, we have to practice that diagrams also. Then in 8th chapter, structural organ, cell, the unit of life. In that, almost all 1 mark 2 marks questions like write the functions of the endoplasmic reticulum, write the difference between the RER and SER, or write the functions of the Golgi apparatus, and 5 marks questions, describe the structure of mitochondria, describe the structure of chloroplast, and 1 mark questions, stored food, carbohydrate stored food, which where it stores, like that questions arises. And another 5 marks question is describe the structure of nucleus, and what is chromosome, explain their types. That is also asked for the 5 marks questions. These are the 5 important 5 marks questions. Describe the structure of mitochondria, and describe the structure of chloroplast, describe the structure of nucleus, and what is chromosome, explain their types. So these are the important 5 marks questions. Then after we come to the 9th chapter, biomolecules. Here main important 5 marks question is enzymes classification, that is asked for the 5 marks questions. Remaining, what are the factors affecting for the enzyme action, and how it works, and as well as the 1 mark 2 marks questions. So structure of proteins, so these all asked for the 1 mark 2 marks questions. Then last we come to the cell cycle and cell division. Here maybe they ask about the 5 marks questions. What is any one phases of the mitosis, like prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase. Almost all they ask about the prophase and metaphase, and also anaphase. Then difference between the mitosis and meiosis, or 1 mark 2 marks questions. So what is what process takes place in the S phase or G1 phase, G2 phases, and the 3 marks questions, significance of mitosis and significance of meiosis. So like that questions arises. So at least if possible you have to prepare all the chapters, or if you are not ready, then at least you have to prepare the first 5 chapters. That's enough for midterm examination. Thank you. All the best.